And we're live.
Oh, okay. So like you said, one day we'll figure it out. It's just not today.
I'm going to fake it till I make it, Daphne. I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing.
Well, I think that's all of us, I think. We try to pretend as best as we can, and hopefully we get the results we want.
We went live right on time, though, today. So that was pretty good. And that explains why no one is here. So I'm going to say... Good. Oh wait, and then they show up.
Right? Jesus. No, there's no
right. Embarrassing.
How
embarrassing. Just go back and come back in a little bit. Good morning, everyone. It is June 16th.
No.
Yes, 2023, and it is a Friday, which is the only good thing about that. And I'm not sure why.
Well, yeah, considering that we both work from home, like I said, it's like weekends, and I mean, is it a holiday this weekend?
Father's Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, shit, I gotta go get Chris a Hallmark card. I hate Hallmark holidays. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, man, fuck all them days.
Right.
Like, I really hate that shit. Although it does give me an excuse to cook something extra fancy for him.
Oh, there you go. So you can do that. You can do that instead of giving your money to a conglomerate.
Yeah,
you can do that. But I still don't like the fact that we're already like past the middle of June.
But Daphne, that's a good thing.
Is it?
Because now we can start the official countdown to New York.
Oh no!
Yes, ma'am. 12 weeks and counting.
You're gonna make me clean the house.
No, don't do that, please, because then I'll be uncomfortable. Don't make me put you out, please. Are you ready for this?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Woo.
really do like my trailer.
I like that trailer too. Help me, I'm in danger, Daphne. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Right there. Good
We're
morning,
trying to
Daphne.
find it. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, you know what? It's like I really prefer doing those trailers than when I used to do like the voiceovers and explaining the campaign. And, and, I'm assuming they're talking about Haslam's campaign,
Roadkill,
which they have these special Steph Wilson cover box.
Yes, and all 4 covers, and I think a variant of each one. I think they've got the virgin spoils and everything, and I'm not sure if they're bringing back the blues. But anyway, there's a lot of options there in a collector's box. That is
so it's like if you kind of like a grindhouse horror, so make sure you keep an eye on Roadkill Rampage, issue 4, right? That's the last issue of the series. Yeah.
Well, at least of this arc.
Right. Okay.
This is the last issue in Tessa's story.
Right. Okay. I mean, it's like, it's funny that you mentioned that this is, just this arc, because that's something that I want to bring up later. But it's like everything's connected, right? So who's joining us in the chat today?
Maybe Steph Wilson. I'm gonna assume it's Steph promoting himself simply because of the canned beans comment.
Okay, no problem. Yes, better than a can of beans. Yes,
the hurricane.
Right. Oh, there you go.
John Silvestri.
Hello.
And of course, Jody McPhee.
Hello. It's like
no, we're busy. I don't have to fake it.
Right, that's true. Yes, and yes, I see you, the 6 people watching us next to the giant eyeball on my screen. Actually, it's not really a giant eyeball, but it just sounds funnier when I describe it. It's just funnier when I describe it that way. Thank you for watching us from regions beyond. And if you are joining us from Facebook, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. It's like we did a little social media cleanup, and we decided to consolidate our work a little bit more. So we are no longer streaming to Twitter. They don't allow us.
I'm no longer on Twitter. I just went ahead and removed it. A year ago, Twitter was fantastic for me. It was really good for marketing. I had, very, very high analytics.
Right.
And then the man took over, and it's like, my shit was still getting seen, but I wasn't getting any engagement. It just became a waste of time. So I'm seeking other platforms to build a new audience, because my Twitter audience is dead, and I don't have time to sit there and try to revive
it. Yeah, that's true.
It's a fucking dog pile over there anyway. So.
Well, at least I got my Twitter to look like really aesthetic and whatnot. Like I finally got it like in a way that it's like, oh, I really like the way this looks. So like I said, we were doing just some housekeeping. And when so we are no longer
Mama needs that money.
Yeah, I know. We are no longer streaming directly to Twitter, although I still have my Twitter account there if you want to check out any updates or whatnot. Because there's a bunch of artists that I follow that they're only on Twitter, so that's why also I keep it too. But as before I get completely distracted, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, currently on Kickstarter right now with its first full-color one-shot, Tall Tales, or So I Thought. We all enjoyed the trailer that Nita played, and it's we're so close to 2,000, reaching $2,000, 2,000 pledges, and that would be something interesting to announce. No, we are so close to breaking $2,000 on the campaign. Thank you so much for everybody who's pledged to the campaign so far. If you are seeing Tall Tales for the first time, this is probably actually the best campaign for you to jump on. Tall Tales Or So I Thought is a prequel, is a standalone prequel to the main storyline, Thieves Quest. So if you just wanted to buy a book to check out what Tall Tales is about, this is the campaign to do it. Pick up the one-shot prequel, and if you missed any of my previous campaigns, you can pick up all the Tall Tales books on the campaign as well, especially and also if you missed Eager Raven as well, the trade and the prequel for Eager Raven is also available on this campaign, so you don't miss anything. And speaking of Eager Raven, I am also known for my mature audience's slice of life ish medieval fantasy. It's more of a soap opera. I'm still the slice of life thing. I don't know. The more I read about it, the more it's like, well, it kind of doesn't really fit the main series. But you know what? That's neither here nor there right now. So yes, I am also known for mature audiences medieval fantasy soap opera drama Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, coming to Kickstarter summer 2023, which actually right now is not that far away. And I finally got Kickstarter to approve the pre-launch page. So if you want to sign up for the pre-launch page so that you get notified when this campaign goes live in about 2 months, link is in the show notes below. I put that in this morning already. And you can go ahead and hit the notify me so that you don't miss the campaign when it goes live. Yeah, so also in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWRKS. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
My name is Nita Lanning, and I am the producer of the Indie Comics Network. I am also a writer, vlogger, blogger, and editor, and F-bomb dropper of epic proportions. See, if somebody speaks to me directly in the chat or mentions me in the chat, it totally fucks me up, and I can't get my shit together.
Oh no!
Just pretend like I'm not here.
Oh no!
I'm a background noise.
Oh no! Nita,
oh my gosh!
No, she look. She's half of this show. I couldn't do it without her. And remember, you can always find everything that we do here at Indie Comics.
It.com.
Well, it's IndieComicsNetwork.com because, of course, I had to get our own name wrong. So
look, I've been getting it all wrong. Like somebody asked me the other day for the website, and I'm like, it's IndieComicsNetwork@gmail.com, and they're like, no, and then it's like, and then somebody asked for the email address, and I was like, IndieComicsNetwork.com. No, that's not.
That's not it either.
I'll get it right one day.
Right,
I never said I was professional. I'm not even trying to be.
No, we only stay at Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So do you have any updates that we should know about or anything? Any housekeeping?
Okay, so this afternoon, Rodney Fyke is going to be back with Fyke at Lestraw at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, Chad and C. Michael will be back with another Build a Comic workshop.
Oh, that's cool.
That is at 8:30.
Right.
I believe 8:30 p.m.
Not like she runs the network or anything.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
I just do my best, Dad.
Right. That's all we can do.
My best. Don't forget to check out Roadkill Rampage issue 4, available right now on Kickstarter. We got Tall Tales Or So I Thought, the one shot. Let's see. I believe that one ended. Fuck, man, I've got to update my
list.
What? It's Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, what and?
Yeah, we talked.
Shit, wrong show. I'm thinking it's Monday. No, I'm sorry, Allison.
Oh, no.
With the AliKat. It is. I'm in. See, I should just. Okay, I'm just going to shut up now.
Right. It's
yeah, accurate. Oh, and then Allison just had something come up. So there is nothing today.
Right.
There's nothing.
Okay,
you know what? I'm just. I'm over.
Okay. It's Friday.
I will send you to Jesus.
I'm done. Peace.
Oh my goodness. No. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it.
No, we're not. It's over. It's a train wreck.
Well, hey, it's like I said, it's I don't like the fact that it's the middle of June, but or past the middle of June already, but it is what it is, So for those of you who missed my Wednesday show, my Wednesday live stream, you would have seen me gush for 2 hours on Clip Studio Paint, and I would like to continue doing that. So what I'm still currently working on the two comics that I'm trying to finish up for the end of the month. Eagle Raven, the Unicorn King's Daughter, and the 8-page adults only supplement with that also is going to be available on that campaign as well. And and I've just been chugging along nicely on Clip Studio Paint, doing these pages, actually inking everything in digitally. So my original plan was to finish what I had already done by hand, the pages, and just finish the rest of the book by hand and then go digital. But once I got a taste of it, I just couldn't let it go. So everything right now is going to be finished digitally. And so far, I was so excited. I figured out how to do speed lines. Yes.
Oh my God.
I figured out. I know. It's like, so let me show you. Let me show everybody what the page that I have on the screen right now. It's like I was working on this before. I came on. Actually, I've been staying up late. Like it's so effortless inking digitally that like last night I didn't realize that I was up until midnight inking.
And that's like way past your bedtime.
Yeah, way past my bedtime. Unheard of. And so this was the page. This is the page that I'm currently working on. And so two things that I discovered Clip Studio Paint. I was very happy that Clip Studio Paint could do is they could do like these straight lines at any angle, and that was such a game changer for me because now it's like I could do bookshelves without a problem, without having to, I really am. And then so I was able to do like this shelf of Blu-rays in the background right over here without like even thinking about it, when before I'd be like, it would be an ordeal. And I was able to do that. And then, like I said, I was able to figure out how to use the rulers tool in order to do these speed lines that I usually been putting in by hand. And now it's like, I didn't use the templates. They have preset speed lines, but I didn't really like them because they looked a little too preset. So at least with the rulers, I was able to I was able to like kind of like create my own, which kind of like fit in. I just wanted everybody to see this face. I'm just having like a blast with this, and it's like this, and it's like I'm really happy with the way this panel came out because of just the little hint of background that doesn't look wonky because I could actually use straight lines now without it. And that's the funny thing, they're straight, but they don't look overly rulered. I don't know, like my previous attempts, like especially when I was working on Tall Tales, that was like kind of like the one thing I didn't like about my backgrounds, is that they looked too straight, too many straight lines. But what's funny is that that's exactly what I used here for the background, but it kind of looks like it fits in more. Like it looks like a full scene.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's a spoiler that doesn't make any sense unless you see the rest of the book. I did. Yeah, I did. I do. Hello, Yomega. Good morning. So yeah, so that's what I'm so that's what I've been up to for the last week pretty much. Like I said, I'm the type
Not Nita lines.
Yeah, lines, you know. You know, it's like I said, I'm the type of person that I need to jump in like full force in order to learn something quickly. And that's exactly what's happening here. And I am just completely addicted. So I'm really looking forward to getting these pages done so that I can start inking issue 8. And you know, just keep the ball rolling, you know. And like I said, like, you know what? It's Clip Studio. Call me. I don't know what the name of the actual company is. It's like, you know, Spawn. I'm not Spawn, but I'm more than happy to be. If you don't mind, a rank amateur.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's like I'll be like, oh yes, this is me using Clip Studio Paint. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I highly recommend it. Pay me. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what's been. So that's kind of how my week has been. Pretty much just chugging along, working.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I kind of don't want it to end. Really, I mean, I'd like these issues to end, but in and of itself, this type of work I don't want to see ending, you know. But
right,
you know, I'm just having way too much fun. I swear to God, I think that
oh shit, hold yourself, Daphne.
Right,
let's get it.
Well,
Show
like, I think I saw the ad for that.
Paint.
Yeah, but I think that I kind of think that they're looking for influencers that know what they're doing. Not someone to go, what the fuck does this do?
God.
Oh, it does this.
Dude, the term influencer is like intimidating as fuck too.
It's awful.
I hate it. I don't want to influence anybody to do anything except, hey, THC gummies for all your fucking nervous.
Okay,
needs.
remember 1/6. 1/6. Jesus said 1/6.
Oh my gosh! Look, they just want shills.
Right, there you go.
Don't
yeah. Well, you know what? I'm willing to do it for free for now until I figure out the program more. You know, look, I just got excited making.
We'll just start tagging them.
Yeah, exactly. We probably should.
We absolutely should.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, so that's what.
Like, stop talking about us, please.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? Just pay me to stop talking about you. You know, but no, but I mean, really though, it's like I haven't been this excited about like you know what it is. I keep talking about like how I'm chasing like the next artistic high. That usually when something like comes together, that it's like that's the high I'm chasing when it finally I got it right. And this is pretty much the next high. This is pretty much the high that I was riding. You know, once I figured out that the felt tip pens to imitate my rapidographs, that was it. It was like, you know, the skies open up, the angel came down, be not afraid. Here's some more brushes. You know, it's like, you know, that type of thing. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm just still riding this high. You know, and the more I learn in the program, it's just another hit. Right. So I'm going to be completely insufferable.
It's all the fun without the stress or consequence of spilling or smearing or
I do
wet.
Yeah, you know, there comes I mean, it's like, look, there was a point. There comes a point. Sniffing ink. In my case, but even then, I mean, it's like it's like before. It's like I would say, oh, you know, it doesn't feel real unless you get ink all over your hands or whatnot. But you know what? I think I got to a point where I kind of got tired of it, and it's like, and I really needed to change it up a bit. You know, I mean, it's like it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be doing traditional art anymore. Like, I still, honestly, my favorite part of the process is doing like the pencils. like really getting that blue, like working with the blue line pencils, because I love the way it looks like, you know, like an animator, that like kind of like an animation thing, because it's in blue line. And, you know, I really do enjoy that process. But in the end, though, it's like when it comes to the grind of getting these pages done, I had to come up with something that was more efficient than what I had right now. You know, and it's like, and it's just, and here's the funny thing. It's not that I'm getting through these pages faster. That's the funny thing. It's not like, but what I'm noticing is that I'm getting through these pages with a lot less interruption. You know, where it's like I'm just able, like I can literally just sit down, like I can just take this right now and start inking while I'm talking, and not be like kind of like, oh, I have to concentrate because I'm going to screw it up, or this, that, and the other thing. And I don't want to, and I hate the whiteout that I'm using, and that type of thing. It's just like, I could just, you know, like go in and just start inking. And if I feel like, you know what, I feel like skipping to the other page on the other issue. Yeah. I don't feel like I have that OCD I had with my original pages, where I had to do them in order. 1, 2, 3, had to go in order. But with the digital pages, I've been skipping around. It's like, oh, you know what? I want to do this panel first. I want to do that panel first. Let me finish this page, you know? And it's like, and just jumping around between the two projects. And it's just different. It just, I don't know, it just puts me in a very different mindset that allows me to get through the work a lot easier. Like I said, not faster, although I'm figuring the more I understand the program, and the more it's like I learn the shortcuts and whatnot, that I'll be able to get through them faster without sacrificing quality. That's, you know, that's the big thing. That was my big thing for this program. My artwork had to look exactly like it would work if I had done it on paper. Like I didn't want anything else, you know, for this. I didn't want to struggle with. It's like, no, it has to look exactly like I should be able, which I did, to take an inked page and a digitally inked page, put them together, and pretty much no one can tell the difference. Right. And for the most part, that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah, it's just, you know, in the end, it's just like I needed the change of pace for my workflow. It's kind of weird talking about art and then using terminology like that in the same sentence, but that's kind of exactly what it is. I needed to up my game, up my workflow, and that's, you know, and with all the cleanup that we've been doing, and, you know, and trying to like, you know, like with the books that I'm reading, and trying to like improve what we're doing in general here. I guess it just seemed par for the course. You know, it's like I said, it's like I cleaned up my Twitter feed, which it looks a lot nicer. I don't know. It's like just the type of stuff that I'm retweeting and posting. Like I said, it just looks, I just like the feel of it, the vibe of it, of my Twitter feed. And like I said, they're artists that I follow because they're not anywhere else. So I use Twitter as a reference for these artists as well. So yeah, because also it's like there's artists that I follow there that when we get back to interviewing, I figure I'll give myself the summer, because I'm just way too distracted with the amount of work I have to finish. Right. And then it's like probably when the fall comes along, we'll start bringing people back onto the show. And there's like a bunch of people on Twitter that I want, artists that I'm following, that I want to be able to contact them and go, hey, you know, you want to come on the show and talk about your books. So yeah, so that's kind of, you know, like I said, it's that's just, there seems to be like this overall, you know, I don't know, this overall thing of like pushing forward and moving forward and making those leaps. That's very exciting. You know, it's very exciting for me. I mean, it's like, you know, I think that, you know, a lot of, I think that's very
a new craft.
Yeah, you know,
craft.
Right, exactly. I think that a lot of people, like, it's very easy, especially online, to kind of like get wrapped up in the negativity, and it's like, oh, this sucks and that sucks, and it's like, oh my God, this platform's dying, this one's doing this, that one's doing that, and it's like,
well, if it's dead to you, leave it instead of sitting there and complaining on it. That's what I did. Twitter was dead to me. Like, it really was. Like, when your algorithm is at one point in time, your analytics were coming back at nearly 1 million impressions a week, and then you're dropped down to 50. I'm wasting my fucking time. So I did stumble a little bit. It upset me because it was my strongest fucking platform at one time, but it wasn't doing anything for me. It was like holding on to a dead relationship. So I just
yeah. Well, yeah, because like that's also one of the advice that on I think it's like Kelsey Rodriguez, one of her videos, where she was saying it's like, pick, use the social media that works for you.
Right.
It's like because there's too many out there for everyone, for you to be concentrating on so many, to be dividing your time up.
Right. And lucky for me, as soon as my Twitter started really dying, when it really started to drop off, I really found an uptick on Facebook.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was like, it kind of like leveled out. The loss was not as bad. Twitter was like the dramatic girlfriend that was clinging and needy and whining and about everything anyway. So it was like, finally I was like, look, bitch, I gotta go.
Yeah. We got things to do.
I got stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and that, I guess that brings us, that segues, because I try to segue into the topic. That brings us to the topic. So you want to make comics. So it's like, so you've decided that this is what you want to do. You want to do comics, you want in, and you want to know like what's the kind of like the best way to do this. And I don't know, like if you were to ask me, say, okay, so I want to make comics, what do I do?
YouTube and Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, I would agree, especially YouTube. I think that for artists, I think YouTube is especially like the most important piece in your portfolio, especially nowadays, especially with the whole AI thing going. And a lot of people now, they want to see your process. They want to see you working on your stuff. They want to see that you're not.
Also, that question was, what do you think is the best social media to use for artists? And I got to remember, we got to start reading these questions if we're going to like do the podcasting thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So that
we got to pretend like our viewers are blind, Daphne.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, because we're not. I'm so used to being visually.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So I mean, for me, it's like definitely consider YouTube an important part of your portfolio, and then it's like for artists, it's like. I mean, look, some artists thrive on Twitter. Some artists thrive on Facebook. It just depends on where you find you're getting the best engagement. Right. Whatever. In the end, it's like YouTube, definitely do YouTube.
Yeah.
But for anything else, you kind of have to like
find your place.
Yeah, you have to find which one gives you the best.
Is your strongest. Which one gives you the best analytics? Which one are you seeing the most return from?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. So like I said, so if someone were to come to me and says, okay, so so how do I start making comics? The first question that's going to come out of my mouth is why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want,
you can go make money doing anything else?
Oh, right. You see, that's the thing. That's what we're kind of like learning. We've been learning this for a while. There are easier ways to make money. So really know your why. It's the same thing.
Yes.
It's the same thing for writers. I mean, I think anybody with any creative that needs a creative outlet, you need to find which ones are the best for you. Maybe there are certain places that are specific for writers. I'm not familiar with those, so I couldn't tell you. I think that's a little. I would assume that promoting writing will be a little bit more difficult because this is a visual medium. People just want to do this. They don't want to sit down and like read.
You really want to talk about good platforms and reach for writers? You need to reach out to Brian K. Morris at Rise and Tide Network.
Oh, there you go.
Brian has an amazing network of writers over there, and I'm sure they could point you in the right direction.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting that. I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I sometimes I don't look. I don't raise my head to look around. So and also here's the thing, right? So it's like, you want to get into comics, and here's the thing. So are you a writer? Are you an artist? Are you an ideas guy? Now, I don't want to dismiss the ideas guy either, so it's like, but my advice is pretty much the same. It's like, okay, know your why. Why are you doing this, right? And then it's like, how are your foundational skills? Are you working on your craft? Just because your mom likes your work doesn't mean you're ready for this,
the amount of messages, it's like their mom wouldn't even stick that shit on the refrigerator. Some of these guys,
but the thing is, though, there's plenty of other ways. If you're just starting out and you're not even sure, you want to do this, but it's like you want to get involved somehow. Zines, making zines is a good way to get started with this. Do your comic, no matter how it looks or whatnot. Do your comics, make a zine of it. Have access to I mean, now you can print that shit out at home. I mean, it's like you don't even need access to a Xerox machine,
right? People do sleep on platforms like DeviantArt, Newgrounds, Reddit if you can get past the toxicity. Yeah, because those are like Twitter on crack.
Right, yeah. Now here's the thing too. Like I will always say is like the level of toxicity that you expose yourself to is completely dependent on how you curate your experience online. Which is exactly what I did with my Twitter feed, especially. I heavily curate that so that I'm pretty much avoiding most of the nonsense that pops up. So if it's like, unless a platform, like no matter what you do, which happens, no matter what you do, that nonsense keeps affecting you, then maybe that's not the best platform for you.
Right.
Then you have to, there comes a point where you can only curate so much. And it's like, so you can do zines also, go to zine conventions, go to indie comics. They're still like MoCA or whatnot. Go to those types of conventions. They love zines at those things.
Right.
So you can, at least use that as a way to gauge how people are going to react to your work. It's like, it's like, I don't know if you could do this in your place, but it's like over here, they used to be like free newspapers in like, like you go to a bank. Oh, they don't have the counters anymore. That's the thing. Oh, that's why. It used to be back in the day where people would just leave like free newspapers and stuff, just lying around. Their distribution method was borderline littering, essentially. Like maybe, like bookstores or like indie booksellers has like a little table. I know Forbidden Planet has a little table that you can put your zines on. Like there's certain stores that they have a shelf specifically for zines. I mean, there's ways to get started without having to go all in. And like I said, even, not to leave the ideas guys out of this, it's like, if you're an ideas guy, you have an idea, it's like you want to do a comic, but you don't know how to write, you don't know how to draw. So it's like, so where are you looking for your artists and writers? Are you creating relationships with them outside of, I need to have this comic done? A lot of people, they kind of like, they only think of networking as, I need to know these people so they could do things for me. When I had read another person says networking is just a business. It is just a monetized way of saying making friends. So, think of it, zines both, I think.
Yeah,
I think
both.
zines can be both. I know that there is like a collector's market for zines. We have a friend who that's all he collects. He goes to like independent booksellers, independent record stores, like all these places that are like really like kind of like almost underground, and he buys them. He comes back with a stack of, so they're out there. So yeah, so it's like, are you like networking / creating friendships with people who could hopefully help you with putting this together?
I've got my whole family blocked with the exception of one sister.
My Facebook is just completely just for this.
Right.
I don't get my family involved or anything.
As soon as I see somebody I don't want to see me, they are blocked in a second. Facebook says you might know them. No, I fucking don't.
I mean, just I have some family members that watch my feed, but I really had to teach them very quickly that it's like, this is, like, this is for a specific thing. I don't want you putting family photos and shit on my feed.
No,
or tagging me in family photos or things like that. It's like, no, that's not the point of this.
I got an aunt on every fucking thing. Oh, I love you, my niece. Bitch, shut up before people block me, because people will come look at you to find me. Jesus.
And here's the thing too. When you're networking, when you're creating this network of people, are you accounting for your budget to pay for everyone that you're going to need to create your book? Right. If you're want to put together a comic book and you're saying, well, but I'm broke,
and then you can't draw, or you don't write.
Right. And it's like, well, how are you accounting for this? It's like, okay, you're broke. How are you accounting for this? How are you going to figure out how you
plasma?
Yeah, I know, plasma, dog plasma. I mean, you do understand that a lot of creators may not consider clout, exposure, or I'll pay you when this project blows up as a serious consideration for working with you. I mean, you do understand that, right? I'm hoping that you understand this, right? That you have to have a very, very specific type of relationship with these people in order to, like, hey, let's just do this for funsies and see what happens.
Right.
You really, but it's like, it's not something that you can expect other creators.
And I love it. It's always the ones that they want to work for clout. You ain't never, or they want you to work for them for clout. You ain't never heard of them before. It's two guys dwelling in a basement some fucking where. And it's like, and who knows you?
Right. Yeah. It's I've seen that. I've seen that all the time. Where it's like, oh, I can give you exposure, and then you go on their
exposure to what?
Yeah, you go on their Twitter or their Facebook, and they have like 0 engagement, and
no
they have
followers,
like 3 followers,
and their mom, their perverted
their
uncle,
YouTube channel only has like 3 subscribers.
Remember the guy that wanted us to collaborate with him came over like almost demanding that we collaborate. He had like 5 fucking subscribers.
Yeah,
and he was gonna make us get us attention.
Right? Yeah, no, we really had this guy, and he was like pushy for a while too. Like he was demanding we collaborate with him, that he was going to get us exposure. Yeah. But when you go to his, when we went to his YouTube,
subscribers,
5 subscribers.
And everybody starts somewhere. I'm not making fun of you,
right? No,
started, but don't come at me when I've been doing this for 3 years.
He was
you're going to lift me up.
Yeah, he was Mr. CEO.
Yeah, I had to tell him to get fucked because he would not stop. Like I really had to get ugly.
We were just talking about somebody like this on the last show, where it's like they come out like acting like, oh, it's if I act like a CEO, you'll treat me like a CEO, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. So keep all that in mind. If you are, and also here's, like I said, so here's the other thing too. And mind you, a lot of this was inspired by a podcast that Frederick L. Jones from Saturday AM did 5 years ago. He did this podcast 5 years ago with the Saturday AM crew. And I told Nita, it's like he did this yesterday, because the advice pretty much is the same.
Evergreen.
It's evergreen, and another thing that he had brought up was how independent are you? And I'm not talking in terms of independent comics, but are you doing your comics regardless of what you're going through, or it's like you're working on your comics now. It's like no matter what it is, it's like you're working on it regardless of anything. Or Are you the type that requires a publisher? Why do you require a publisher? And what happens if you don't find a publisher? Does your book still exist if you don't have a publisher? Right? Or here's the thing. So it's like, especially what we've been hearing recently, if you're the type that can only function with a publisher, yeah, one, what happens if you don't get one? Or two, what happens if you get a really shitty one? You know, what happens? I mean, it's like, does your comic only exist in this circumstance? You know, and it's like, and if it does, it's like, is it really doing comics you want to do?
Right.
You know, because I mean, I would think that if you want to do comics, you're doing comics anyway.
Right.
Like, you've been doing comics. It's like, it's not something that you just thought of one day. It's like, oh, I'm going to do comics, you know, unless you're 6. That's kind of when 6 or 12. That's kind of when that, oh, I'm going to do comics. That's kind of when it's okay to think that way. But like when you're, you know, it's like when you're in your third or your 20s and late 20s and early 30s, and you wake up one day going, oh, I'm going to do comics, and you've never done comics before. Again, that goes back to the why. Why do you want to do this? What is your goal for this?
Because it's easy money. I can draw pretty pictures. My mama likes my artwork.
Right. Yeah.
And I wrote a poem one time in 3rd grade that got me a prize.
Oh, there you go. You got a little gold star sticker that's still stuck on the refrigerator after all these years. Is. Right. Here's a peeve. Well, is it a peeve? I don't know if it's a peeve, but it's something that I see all the time. Are you even committed to the story you want to tell? You know, if you want to come into comics because you have a story you want to tell, are you even committed to that story? You know, it's like we always say, you know, it's like, don't come out the gate with the epic. And I have to say, oops, you know, did that. You know, 20 years, you know, later, you know, 30 something years later, you're still on the same book. You know, because it's like, oh, one thing indie comics has shown is that there are a lot of creatives that need a team around them, an editor to keep them on track, a marketer to promote their product, an accountant. Right. Well, you see, that's the thing. So it's like, so it's good to acknowledge that you need these things, but the problem is that what happens when you don't have them? You know, what if, you know, you can't get a publisher to publish your book? Like I said, does it still exist?
Well, absolutely. None of us need a publisher. That's the thing, that it's like, bruh, are you really independent if you need a publisher? When anybody can do print on demand nowadays, like,
but it also depends. Well, you know what? It's like, because I think that also goes to
I get kind of tired of these guys that are like beautiful, brilliant creators, and they're like, oh, I gotta find a publisher. I gotta find a fucking publisher. If you're not finding a publisher that's gonna market you, if you're still gonna have to fucking put in all the work and effort,
which is
and everything else, why the fuck are you fucking giving them your money? Because that's what you're doing.
Right, like, because it's like, I mean, I can understand if like being in comic book stores, like if being in comic stores is kind of a thing, but you don't want to deal with the hoops that Diamond.
Yeah, but most of these basement dwellers are barely in stores, if they're in stores at all.
I mean, yeah, it's like, you have to kind of, but I think that boils down to like knowing your why. Why is this important? You know, it's like, why do you need, you know, a publisher? Why can't you do it yourself? But here's the thing, though. All of that is moot if you're not committed to your story. Right. You know, I know that a lot of people, we see them. They're a dime a dozen. They get, you know, you start talking to them about their story, and they say, you ask them, how long is your story? And they go, oh, it's 300 issues.
Oh, geez.
You know, or something like that. It's 50 issues.
I'm already overstimulated. I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, it's like 20 volumes, you know, of epic whatever it is. And I go, yeah, but you do understand that most people fizzle out at 2, right? At issue 2. Like, most people don't even make it to issue 2. You know, I mean, again, the you know, look, I've been in this for 35 years. The road is littered with bodies of people who don't even make it to their issue 2. And they're talking about how their story is 50 issues long or 20 chapters long or it's like 17 volumes or something. So it's like, So it's like, if you can't be committed, so it's like, if you can't honestly say you're committed to your story, then again, it's like, what's your why? Are you the type, it's like, are you the type where it's like you have to keep drawing your first issue over and over again?
Oh my God.
That's a peeve. That's a peeve.
I've made 10 copies of this issue of this X-Men knockoff, and I keep selling it and selling it and selling it. God, that shit gets old.
Well, that's like, not even what I'm talking about, where it's,
it is, because they keep redrawing and this is the revised edition.
Right, yeah. Where it's like, that's like, they finished their issue 1, realized that their artwork got better, and they said, oh, let me redo the issue.
Let me redraw.
Because again, I know plenty of people where it's like they have 5 variations of issue 1 rather than having 5 issues of their series. It's like, look, your artwork is going to get better no matter what you do. So you might as well just keep on going.
Keep progressing, move forward.
Just keep progressing. It's going to happen. It's like my first issue and my 20th issue on Tall Tales are 2 different things. And I would never want to go back and redo those early issues. Like, look, just respect the artist that you were at that time, and just keep it moving. If telling your story is the important thing for you, then do that. Then tell your story. I mean, but yeah, it's like if too many people want to run a marathon without ever training for a 5K. Right. It's like, no, it's like, because in the end,
if you're going to collapse and shit yourself and look like a fool.
Right. And you're not even at mile 2. Yeah. You barely passed the
that was one city block, not a mile, bitch.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Whatever.
Well, no. A mile is 20 city blocks.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, yes, I've counted. Yes.
Well, a mile is literally 1 block here. Like, it's almost a mile to the next street.
Right. And then it's like, and especially this week, I mean, also it's like, you do understand that doing comics is not just about you doing artwork. It's like what Nita was saying. Plus, we were talking about, like, how's your social media presence? If you just want to make comics for yourself, that's different. But if you really want something that grows a little bit beyond you, what's the effort that you're putting in to build your audience? An audience that will actually support your book. Do you know the basics of how marketing works? Do you understand social media or your crowdfunding platforms, how those algorithms work? Which platforms are best for you? Where do you see the most engagement? Wherever, like I said, Kelsey Rodriguez was saying in her video, go to the, use all social media to try them out, but narrow it down very quickly as to which ones are giving you the results that you're looking for. Don't hang out on a platform that's not working for you. You're just wasting your time there, know thyself. Yes, Jake. Yes, absolutely. It's like, you have to know what it is. It's like, how is your social media presence? Do you have one? Do you have a YouTube channel? Like I said, it's like, I think that YouTube is incredibly important as a portfolio, as being part of your portfolio now.
Absolutely.
Make videos, make speed paints, do whatever. It's like, people want to see the process. They want to see you work. They want to associate you with your artwork. So make sure
they have to now, because nowadays anybody, like, if the fucking AI is getting so hard that even some greats are being fucking fooled.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting more and more difficult, even though to me it still looks dead.
Yeah.
There's
but the thing is, though, there's going to come a point where we're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Right.
And, and it's like, well, but the only way we will be able to is if we can see people actually doing them. So no, and to go back to what Nita was saying, right? Do you know how to organize your time to actually put out a comic on a reasonable schedule? Do you know, like, if you're the type that you recognize you need, like, all these, like, you need an editor, you need, it's like, again, if you can't get a publisher to touch your stuff, how are you going to organize all those things that you need? You know, if you know you need an editor, again, it's going back to networking and whatnot. It's like, do you have the budget to support an editor, to get a colorist, to get a flatter? You know, it's like that you're going to need, maybe you want to hire somebody to do your social media for you. That still requires, money. Do you know how to manage a team? There we go. Do you know how to manage a team to make sure that they give you what you need on time? I mean, it's like, because if you have a social media manager that doesn't really manage, where they're putting out posts after your campaign ends, I mean, it's kind of pointless, or they don't put up posts at all. Like, I mean, it's like, you have to know what they're doing. You can't just say, oh, I'm paying you to do this, and then never talk to them. Right. You have to have how much knowledge of what they do you know that you know what they're doing, that you can keep an eye on what they're doing, right? But the thing is too, it's like,
I suggest before adding anyone to your team for anything, whether it's marketing, whether it's editing, I suggest you stalk them. You cyber stalk
how
them.
How
have they acted on other campaigns? If they're the editor, go read the book. Are you finding fucking errors that slip past them? If they're the artist, go fucking look. Go fucking look. You have to do the legwork in the beginning before you waste your fucking money. See what people have to say about them, their timing, what is their turnaround rate like is this shit gonna move, or are you about to get fucked and pay for it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
do the research.
Yeah. I mean, which again, it's like requires you to do that if you want to do this. It's like, it's not just about doing artwork. It's not just about, I just want to write, I just want to draw. There is not in this environment that we're in. Even if you hire people, you have to know how it works so that you know what they're doing. And it's like, are you able to schedule all this so you can put out a comic in a reasonable schedule?
Under your bed, bitch.
Right, yeah. It's like, what are you doing in between issues to keep interest high? Are you only releasing a comic once a year? Are you only releasing a comic once every 2 years?
Or are you running a Kickstarter and we won't see that book for 2 fucking years?
Right, exactly. And then it's like, it's like, I've seen way too many people, they only do the comic once a year, or it doesn't deliver for like 2 years. You never hear from them. And then they put out another issue and then they wonder why they're not getting any traction. It's like, I see a lot of that, so it's like, it's like, can you even keep a schedule? I'm not saying that, do a monthly schedule. Maybe a quarterly schedule is best.
Know their style.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't choose. It's like, it's like I don't do realism, so don't ask me to do realism. It's like, or it's like, don't hire a fantasy art, a person who's obviously specializing in fantasy art to do a space, a space opera. It's like, know who you're, it's like, really, it's like, take care in who, like who you're hiring. Be conscious, show that you're caring about your research when you contact people.
Yeah, because if you don't, it looks like you don't give a fuck about your project.
Right, that you're just trying to get anybody
and everybody. You're just grasping at straws. Who's going to be the cheapest?
Right.
Like,
and also, and the thing is though too is like, okay, so it's like, what are you doing? So even if you are at a publisher or not at a publisher, right? What are you doing during the quiet moments? What are you doing in between issues? How are you keeping your audience engaged with you while you're working on the next book, on the next campaign?
Or not working at all at the moment. You're taking a break. You've got to breathe life into that. If you don't, you die off so fast in social media.
Yeah, no, it's exactly the way that it moves. So it's like, how are you keeping your audience engaged?
And it works both ways.
Right. No,
artists know what you enjoy and apply for those jobs, not ones that are going to drain and depress you. Absolutely. We are curating our entire experience.
Yeah. That's definitely.
If you're not happy with what you're doing, it's your fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have control over it. You know, I mean, look, not everything is going to make you happy 100% of the time. It's ridiculous. That's entitlement. But know what you're getting yourself into. If you just want to do art or you just want to write or whatever, it's like, then just do art, right? But keep in mind that you're going to close off a lot of opportunities for yourself if all you want to do is work like this.
Right.
So it's like, when you say that's like, oh, I don't want to worry about the business side. I just want to do art. It's like, well,
that's fine. You can try, but you're not going to market yourself to success without producing product that people
right. And the product could be anything, it's like, so it doesn't matter what kind of book that you're doing. You still have to engage with this audience, with this potential audience in order to, I mean, again, it's like, why are you doing this? It's like, if you're saying you want to make comics, the answer says, so go make comics. That's the easiest answer. But when people say, I want to do comics, what they're really asking is, I want to do comics that are successful. I want to do comics that sell, so it's like, well, then there's a larger skill set that you need outside of doing the art or whatever, in order to make that happen. Because if it was just all about you making comics, you wouldn't need to talk about it. You would just be doing it, right? And here's the thing: if you decide that you're not going to worry about the larger thing, the larger skill set, and you still want to be in the game, not only does it just focusing on the artwork close you off to the rest of that, but also it leaves you at the mercy of unscrupulous people who are more than happy to take advantage of the fact that you don't want to worry about the business end. They're more than happy. Oh, you just want to do the art? That's okay. We'll take care of everything. Just give us the book and we'll do all the work for you.
Yep.
And that can go really well for you, but more likely than not, that can go really, really bad.
Yes.
So, understand, that's a risk that you're taking when you decide that it's like, I just want to do artwork. I want a publisher because I don't want to worry about all these other things. Right. And it's like, look, it's kind of like going to a car mechanic, and it's like they say, oh, this filter needs to be changed, and it turns out your car doesn't even have that type of filter in it. That old gag. Oh yeah. It's like, it's stupid that it's like that we have to know all these things in order to just do the one part that we want to do, but it's your knowledge that's going to protect you from the people who are counting on you not knowing. They're counting on you to be ignorant. They're counting on you to be, it's like to just want to be an artiste. They're counting on you.
If you don't want to be a victim, you have to become very aware of your surroundings.
Right, exactly. Now, here's the thing, though. It doesn't mean that nobody's going to take advantage of you.
Oh, no. Everybody's going to get fucked at least
victimized at one point. But it's how you get up after that. That's what counts.
What did you learn from it?
Right. It's like, the first, you take a job that you think is going to have a lot of potential and it goes sideways.
Right.
It happens. You take a second job and it does the same thing. And it's like, okay, well, this kind of sucks. But when it happens again and again, you have to rethink what you're doing.
Right.
It's like there comes a point where it's like, okay,
what are you going to stay bent over, or are you going to throw your hand over your asshole and keep moving? It's just like, how's it going to be?
It's like, maybe that's not the analogy I would have used.
Yes, it is. It's that is exactly what it is, Daphne. But you're going to either bend over and keep fucking taking it, or you're going to grab that soap and you're going to cover your ass and you're going to run.
Let's try to think of a different analogy. How about it's like if you see that there's a pattern that's not working, there comes a point where you have to decide to break that pattern.
Okay.
How about we
fine. Always so classy.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's just, but I think, but also, it's like the final thing that if you want to get into comics that you really want to think about as well is what's your goal for all this? In the end, not only do you need to know your why, which I think in the end, this is related to your why. Why are you doing all this? What's your goal? What's your final goal? And is your final goal sustainable? I mean, it's like Frederick in the podcast was saying that he would have people coming to him going, like, oh, I have this idea and I would love to see this in anime, but they don't have anything. They're coming to him with nothing. So it's like, all right, what is this supposed to mean to me? You're not entitled to a career in comics. That's literally was the title of the podcast that I saw. It's like, you're not entitled to a career in comics. But it's like you're coming to me with nothing, and it's like, and you're kind of asking for something in exchange for that nothing.
Yeah, right.
And that's not how it works.
Nope.
So it's like, what's your final goal in all this? Is it even sustainable? I mean, it's like if you're talking about, like, oh, if I don't make 10K on this very first Kickstarter, if I don't make 20K on this very first Kickstarter, I'm quitting comics. It's like, okay, look, that tells me you never wanted to do it to begin with. You didn't want to do comics. You wanted to make 20 grand in a way that you thought was really quick.
Right.
That's two different things. Where it's like, oh, if I can't sell it to Netflix, it's like, oh, I can't do this if I can't sell it to Netflix. Then comics is not what you wanted to do.
Oh, it's neat.
Go work for Netflix, go work in the film industry if that's what you want. But comics that's not what you wanted to do. Yeah. Do you just want to complete a story? Because honestly, that's kind of my goal. I want to complete my stories. I want to get to the end of these stories, so that I can move on to the next, it's like, I want to finish the 15 issues of Eager Raven. I want to finish my novel. I want to finish these 8 issues of the new Tall Tale story arc, so that Jose can move on to the last story arc for Tall Tales. I want to finish these books so I can move on to the next book. That's kind of my goal here, that it's like, if it does well on Kickstarter, that's great. It's like, if, I'm able to sell these books constantly, like honestly, Richard and Wendy Peeney are like their goals, #goals, where it's like, they've been selling the same books for the past 45 years.
Did you see her post this morning? Or
no,
it might have been last night? She has an ElfQuest fucking license plate. I just think
that's right, because they're going to AwesomeCon, I think.
Right.
That I saw. It was really funny. It's like, wow, I don't know if I would go so far as having a personalized license plate. But it's like, they've been selling the same property for 45 years. And it's like, that's what I want to do ish. I want to sell, I want to continue Tall Tales. I want to continue Eager Raven. I want to go to a convention and have the entire table just covered with growing piles of, oh, here's the new story. Here's the new story. Here's the new series. Here's the new, here's the new story arc. Here's the new novel. It's like,
look at my babies.
Yeah, exactly. That's my goal. That's my goal. Anything else is gravy. Of course, the Kickstarters make it easier. The Kickstarters make it much easier. But even without that, especially now with the way I'm set up and the momentum that I have, this is all. If it were to stop, I'd still be moving. I'd still be going.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, which, by the way, JD Rosario and Unstoppable Comics will be at AwesomeCon as well. So, just so you know. So it's like, so what's your why? Where you want to go with it, and are you willing to do everything else in between to get there? So that's a tiny. Look at that. That wasn't even on in my script, and I was able to tie it up. Because I really do. I really should take like all these thoughts and make a more coherent edited video. of it. But yeah,
I'm sorry. It's because of me that you can't.
No.
But you do have that inertia. You're just
right. Yeah,
going,
it's
dude.
because of the YouTube algorithm. Because I would just leave everything at streams. It's like streams are so much easy to do. And well, here's the thing about knowing the algorithm of the platform that you're on. I mean, YouTube, as much as I love streams, they're very easy to make. It's just nice to be able to hit play and just hit record, start broadcast, and just start yapping.
Yeah,
and
to grow, you need shorts. To grow, you need reels.
Yeah.
You need to make those shorter videos, and I am fucking learning that, and I hate that shit.
No, I
they
really
also prefer the edited format. So there's tricks. If anybody's interested in learning loopholes in that, you could reach out to me. I might tell you that.
Right.
Might. Depends on if I like you or not.
Right. Well, that's
but in the we can only use the long form to engage the audience we already have. To reach out to new audience, we have to create the short form.
Yeah, and it's like, and I've been testing out some things, and it's true. It's very funny story. I told Nita it works. So I had posted up. I did the trailer for Tall Tales, as you guys saw at the beginning of the show, and I had posted it to my YouTube channel as just its own video. So it's like, okay, here's the trailer, and then the link to the Kickstarter at the bottom of it. Right? I get probably what I think was the best video comment on that.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful and great.
So a guy had said that he was watching a video of some homeless people beating each other up, and one homeless woman takes a gun. Like, he describes it, like the dude is watching fucking bum fights on on YouTube. Like, what the heck are you watching? And he said that when the video ended, the video that the algorithm that YouTube recommended that he watch next was my trailer for Tall Tales.
Hey.
And he goes, well done. Well done. And I go, look, the algorithm doesn't lie. I answered, but it was the funniest comment. And I took a screen grab and I sent it to Nita, and I go, look, the edited videos, they really are getting promoted out.
Right.
It's like, this guy says, I got your video out of nowhere. What the heck? But thank you. And it's like, look, that's how the algorithm works. So unfortunately, well, at least unfortunately for me, because longer videos edited videos takes a lot of effort to make. And it's like, oh, now I got to really seriously start coming up with more videos, edited videos, in order to kind of get the YouTube algorithm to work more in my favor. I really do think that it was the edited videos that really got me over 1,000 subscribers now, which, thank you everybody for subscribing. Feel free to subscribe even more if you like. So again, it's kind of like, all right, so know your why, know where you want to get to, and know whether you're willing to do everything else in the middle to meet those two ends. You want to get into comics, you want to do anything that you feel is important to you. That same advice kind of applies to everything. So that's so know your why. Know your why, and whether you're up to the challenge. And you know what? And most of you are. A lot of you are. Just as many of you are up to the challenge as those of you who have died by the wayside. It's like, but in the end, you don't know unless you actually do it. So
right.
Take the chance. Yeah. In the end, it's like, look, if you really want to do it, take the chance. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You'll find something else. Don't worry. So you have any final thoughts? We're a little over the hour, so it's like, you have any final thoughts about
I just accepted the fact that it's Friday, and so I'm good now.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's true.
I can't believe you let me fucking spat out like that, man.
About what?
You didn't know, like, see, and he didn't even notice until I'm like, I had already talked about tomorrow being Tuesday. I'd already, and
I
it's
didn't
like,
catch
I
it. Look, I don't have my post
Friday. I said
anymore.
Friday, and I don't even listen to myself. How can I
Yeah.
expect other people to listen? See, these dumb bitches don't know anything. I can't even
Well,
listen
that's
to
okay.
myself.
They still watch us anyway.
Hmm.
I still look, we say that. It's like, look, your mileage may vary. You know, in the end, no matter all this advice that we just gave you, your mileage may vary.
I don't even know my days of the week. So
You know?
you decide whether or not you want to listen to me.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, look, it's like, it'll work, it'll not work. In the end, you have to adjust everything that we, you know, that we talk about. Everything that we talk about is from our personal experience. Like I said, I've been at this for 35 something
there
years.
is one thing that is absolutely certain.
What?
You have to do the work.
Oh, absolutely. That's the one thing that doesn't change. That's the one thing that doesn't change. No matter what, you have to do the work. You can't avoid doing the work. So there we go. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We ran a little long again, but hey, you know, that's what happens sometimes. But I hope that you found the information useful on some level. Like I said, take what you can use, leave behind the rest. Everything is your mileage may vary, because what works for you might not work for us. What works for us might not even work for you. So, but you don't know. Yeah, what you know, you have to do it for yourself and adjust accordingly and see what happens. In the end, that's what it boils down to, right? You know, so yes, I see you, the 7 people. Thank you so much for watching us. Wherever you're watching us from, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat. There's a lot of there's also like a lot of good stuff in the chat as well. So if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you check out, you know, our sexy people in the chat, leaving all their wonderful information as well, all their own advice in the chat that you could also take, you know, like I say, take it or leave it, take advantage, you know, see what works for you, see what doesn't. Thank you so much for that. So that's it for us on this Friday. We'll be back Monday at 11 a.m. again, making this up as we go along. And if you want to learn, if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. That's the one that really works for me. You know, so you find me on Facebook, where that's where you'll get all the up-to-date, you know, like sketches and any information, campaign info and whatnot on my Facebook. And you can also, remember, check out my YouTube channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, for all my videos, all the streams that if you miss any streams, you can rewatch everything there. I have all my videos on how I make stuff and reviews and things like that. And also you can join me on Wednesdays, usually every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m., where I'm working. It's a drawing live stream where I'm working on something and we just all talk and have a good time and all that. You can read Ego Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday, also at egoworks.com. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday as well. Remember that links to both my campaigns are in the show notes below. You can go support Tall Tales, or So I Thought, the full color one shot, which is on Kickstarter right now. And there is a pre-launch link for Ego Raven issue 7 coming to Kickstarter in a couple of months. So you can hit that notify me button so you get notified when that campaign goes live. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, chat. Thank you, eyeball people. And so we'll be seeing you on Monday. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments, and it's worth it no matter what. If you really want to do this, the work is worth it. Trust me. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
And
that's the card.